So we're back with the Corsa. We had the MOT done last week and unfortunately it didn't pass. There's a couple of things that failed on. One was the front discs. So we've got front discs to do, and then we've also got on it the anti-roll stabiliser bar. So there's that as well. Another little job that we've still got to do on there is the water pump housing seal. That just is weeping a little bit, so we just want to make sure that's spot on. So we'll get them bits done, get the parts ordered, get them bits done, get it back in for its retest next week, and we should be good to go. Now I'm just showing now how to get these stabilising, anti-roll stabilising bars off. And Carl, as you can see, as I said earlier, has changed the brakes, so front discs and pads. Now following the MOT, just to make sure we can get obviously through next time. And then on the anti-roll bar stabilisers, it's a 16mm socket, 11mm socket, or 16mm spanner even, 11mm socket. Get it over like that. Literally, two hands obviously. But release that there. Release it up at the top end there, and then we'll switch that out for the new one. Getting these back in, actually found it easier just to wedge the anti-roll bar itself down with the old one, and it just frees up your space there. So then obviously pushing that in, and then you can pop your nuts on both sides, tighten them up, and we're good to go. For tightening these, we've got the 15mm spanner, 11mm ratchet, and it's literally just a case of tightening it up, and then we'll get the torque settings, give it final torque. And there we have it, we've got the new brakes and new anti-roll stabilising bar in now as well. Job done, should be a pass on the MOT. So I just wanted to quickly sort of show how you can check an MOT. It's really simple. Just go on Google, put MOT check in there, click on the link, make sure it's a government link on there, start now, type your reg in. As soon as you've done that, click the continue button. That then brings you to the page where it's basically all that vehicle's history, all the MOT history you've got on that car. So obviously on this one, just highlighting the fail that we had when we had our test done, and what we needed to do then to obviously get that pass mark on the retest. So as you can see, the two items there that were on there we rectified, and then we was ready to go for the retest. The next job we did was the thermostat housing, and this was a weeping seal essentially. And what we found as well with this is actually once we'd cracked it off, there's just literally water in the system. So coming up to the winter months, obviously it's essential you have coolant in your system, not just water. Don't just top up with water, make sure you've got the right mix and all that good stuff. But yeah, good job we did do this, because it then made us aware of that. So following getting this cracked open, swapped over and back in, we then did follow up later on by refilling the system with some proper coolant. Grab the seal?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So I was going to change the seal on this when we cracked it open. We actually had the wrong seal, but we managed to clean it up. Obviously got it up, running up to temperature now, and as you can see, no leaks on that at all. Previously was just leaking from on top here. You can see where I'm actually pointing there, and I think it'll be probably a common fault on these, so definitely worth, if you've got one of these Corsas, and look at that, double checking it, and then literally just unbolt it all, give it a clean with an emery cloth, and obviously the seal, if they're washing up like liquid, give that a good clean, and whack it back in. We should be good to go on that. So another good one done there. And after finishing those jobs, we ended up getting it all cleaned up and ready for the actual retest MOT. Once we'd gone through that, we got a pass. Obviously we did all the advisories that they said, so it's all fully up and running, no issues now. So when all said and done, to give a bit of context onto price wise what it cost us and time as well, I'd say probably about 8 hours, and that was kind of split over probably 3 or 4 different days. of us going back into waiting on parts, various things like that. So that's everything from putting the windscreen in, doing the brake discs, doing the roll bars, and then obviously any other little bits and bobs that we've done, like the wiring loom as well. In terms of cost itself, so we got this one from Cinetic as a repossession car, and the total cost to us, once it was delivered with all the fees, everything like that on top of it, was £2,770. So what you do have to bear in mind with the likes of these salvage auctions is that you do have a lot of fees on top, including like obviously delivery as well. So our actual bid was £2,360. So as you can see there is like a £300+ increase on the delivery and on the fees, which is actually really good, to be fair, because on Copart I think the fees are a lot larger than that. I was just fortunate enough that this one was local to us, so it was the minimal delivery fee. So in terms of parts on this, there's a lot of things that we didn't actually expect that we would need. So there's things like the gear stick gator, we had to get that, so there's a bit of messing about with that. We actually ended up getting the whole gear mechanism because we bought a second-hand gear knob gator and that wasn't even the correct one, so there was a bit of faffing about, but cost wise it was minimal. The windscreen itself was actually £108, so we got that second hand and just made sure, triple checked that was the correct screens. Obviously if we'd gone there to pick it up, then come back and it didn't fit, or it was a wrong connector, then we'd have had a nightmare. So yeah, make sure you do check them. Back passenger light, £35, so that was next to nothing really. Aerial base, so we had to get one of those as well, because the aerial in ours had actually snapped, so it was easier just to get a base and aerial already attached. We did also manage to sort of get some money back on some of these things. So for instance, like the aerial base, once we'd got the snapped aerial stalk out, was actually able to sell that on, so we pretty much broke even on the cost of us buying and selling with those. 2 new tyres that we had to get as well on there, so we actually managed to source some good part warm ones. £70 it was for the pair of them. Windscreen removal kit, as I said, was £30. Then we've got a tyre inflator kit that didn't come with the car, so we just wanted to put that in the boot and make sure that was there if it was needed in the future. That was £30. And then we've got the tailgate wiring loom, as we said earlier, £65 for that. And then the thermostat housing gasket, we didn't actually end up using that, but that was £11 and we couldn't send it back. Discs, so discs and pads, so the two front discs £39.40 and the set of pads for them £31. And then we've got the anti-roll bars, and as I said earlier as well, we ended up buying a pair of these rather than just buying them singular, so it was just over £30 for those. So total cost was actually £3,373.61 that we've put into this car, so that includes even the MOT as well. I don't think you'll get much cheaper on the road now for that. We're sort of 60,000 miles on the clock, and we know it's, as I say, mechanically sound. If you actually look on Auto Trader, values of these are about £4,500, so we've got about £1,000 off, grand saving, which on a car that's low value like this, that's an under £5,000 car if you like, that's quite a substantial chunk of money back in our pockets. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. This is the end essentially of the course of videos. What we are going to do is look to get another car. We'll then obviously put a bit more content out, maybe get something that's going to challenge us a bit more. Obviously there's only a few little bits and bobs to do on this one, but hopefully that's provided some people with some information on what to do if you find these faults. If it has, then please give us a thumbs up, give us a like and a subscribe. It really helps us out, much appreciated. And I'll leave you with some clips of the actual car itself.